Hi everyone, welcome back. So here is the landing page we are going to design in Figma today. As you can see, design is dark, minimal with glowing green accents and even a light ray effect to give it some depth. The style was inspired by web prodigies who always do these super slick futuristic designs. In this video, I will walk you through exactly how I build this step by step so you can try it out for your own projects. Okay, let's start now. Okay guys, let's start designing now, and if you want to do follow along with me, pause this video and copy these colors into your design file in Figma. To start designing, I am going to draw a frame first by pressing F on my keyboard, and I am going to choose this frame desktop. Let's place it there and zoom in. Okay, and I am going to give it a fill, and fill is going to be this color, this top one. And then we need to create a header. To create header, first of all, I am going to make logo and then nav links, then CTA button. To create logo, I am going to write text, and text is going to be build Lee. Okay, that will be the logo name. And I am going to use font family of Inter, and it will have logo will have font size of 16, and font weight is going to be bold, and letter spacing is going to be -2%, and line height is going to be 160%. Okay, and then we need to give it an icon there. To use icon, to get icon, I always use this plugin, Quick Fill. If you are watching my tutorials, then you already know this plugin. So we are going to go to placeholder segment there, and logos will appear here. Okay, logos are loaded now, and I am going to use I need to go to placeholder segment. Okay, and then we need to use this logo. Okay, and let's change its color to white, and let's also give it a proper size, and size is going to be 32. I think 24 will be the width. Okay, and height is going to be 32, and then we need to place it there. Okay, and let's put our logo back into our desktop frame, and we will select both of them and turn them into a frame. They will have gap of 8. Okay, our logo is ready, and next we need to create nav links. To create nav links, I will write text, and text will be features, but nav links will have a font size of 16, but font weight is going to be regular. Okay, and letter spacing is going to be -2%, and line height will stay as it is, 160%. Okay, but we need to turn it to auto layout for UX purposes, because if you want to have nav links, and it is a good practice to give it a proper padding, so it increases the area around the text, so it will have more clickable space for users, you know. So we want to have it, so they will have padding of 12 pixel horizontal, and I think they will have 8 pixel top and bottom padding. Okay, our nav link is ready, and then we need an icon there. To get icon, I am going to use this plugin, Iconify. Okay, and here I will search down, because we don't need a down icon like this one, so I think I will use this one, import it as a frame. Okay, and we need to move it there, and we also need to change its color to white. Okay, and maybe we need to change its size as well by pressing K. You need to press K, and this section will appear. We need to scale it, and I think size will be 20. Let's see how it looks. Maybe 24. Yeah, it does look good now. So we also need to change its gap to 4. Okay, our first nav link is ready. Let's duplicate it by pressing Ctrl D, and we have another nav link. We need to change its text to, I think, case studies. Yeah, our second nav link is ready. Okay, we will duplicate it again. Okay, and then we will put it there, and we don't need this down arrow icon, we will delete it. Okay, and we will change its text to integrations, and then we need to duplicate it again. I can hold alt key and duplicate it again, this we need to change text to docs. Okay, and we need to duplicate it again by holding alt key, and this time we can name it to blogs. Okay, and let's select all of these nav links. Okay, and then we will turn it to all of them into auto layout, and they will have gap of 24 pixels. Okay, and next we need to create our CTA button. Okay, to create CTA button, I am going to write text first, and text is going to be get started free, and text properties are going to be font size is going to be 16, font weight is going to be bold, and letter spacing is going to be -2%, and line height is going to be auto. And then we can give this text to auto layout, and its horizontal padding is going to be 16 and vertical padding is going to be 12. Okay, and I am going to give it corner radius of 100 to make it fully rounded. Then we can move to fill option, and fill is going to be linear gradient, but it will have 3 stops, and let's give all of these stops their colors. Let me zoom out. So first color is going to be this dark color, and second color is going to be this one. Okay, and the third color is going to be this one, and second stop will stop at 71%. Okay, let's change the position of our linear gradient like this. We can move it there. Okay, and we can also move it there. I think our button fill is ready. Yeah, like that. And then we can give it stroke, and stroke is going to be radial gradient, radial one, and the top stop will have this color. Let me zoom out, this one, and bottom stop will also have this color, but bottom stop will have 0% opacity. And let's change the position of our radial gradient, radial stroke gradient. Okay, so we need to move it there like this, and we also need to move it there somewhere like there. Okay, and it will be like that. Okay, our CTA button is ready, and let's select all of these frames and turn them into auto layout. Okay, and they will have horizontal padding, but we need to the left side padding is going to be 20, and the right side padding is going to be 10. Okay, and top padding is going to be, I think, 8, and bottom padding is going to be 8 as well. And then we need to give it fill, and fill is going to be this color, and we need to change its opacity to 6%, and we also need to give it effect of background blur, and value is going to be, I think, 20. Yeah, and let's see now. You can't see anything because it doesn't have any other background other than that. So let's give it a stroke as well, and stroke is going to be, I think, this color. Okay, and let's see now how does it look. I think we also need to change stroke opacity to 20%. Okay, and we need to change its corner radius to 100 to make it fully rounded. And now see how does it look. Yeah, our header is ready, and let's position it there properly. Place it on our desktop frame like this. I think our header is ready. Now time to create heading, subheading, and CTA button. Okay, so let's do that now. Okay, to create header, I am going to write the text. Text is going to be track your spending effortlessly. Okay, that will be the heading text. And now we need to give it some properties. The font size is going to be 96. Okay, and font line height is going to be 100, and letter spacing is going to be -2%, and we need to change its width. It is going to be like that. Now we need to give it a fill is going to be linear gradient, and the top value is going to be, I think, this one. Okay, and the bottom stop will have slightly gray color like this. Okay, and let's position our linear gradient from there to there. Okay, okay, our heading is ready. Now we need to put subheading there. I'm simply going to copy it from here. Okay, and paste it there. Control V, and subheading will have properties. It will have font size of 24, font weight will be regular, and line height is going to be 40, and letter spacing is going to be -1%. And you can see linear gradient. I have used linear gradient, and values are there, you can copy them. Okay, and next we need to create CTA buttons there. I'm going to copy this one. Okay, and let's change its text to uh, start. Let me zoom in so you can see. Start tracking now, and let's have another CTA button, and we can simply change its fill to solid color. Okay, and solid color value is going to be 46, 4E, and 48. Okay, this will be the value, and text is going to be watch demo. Watch demo, and the D is going to be upper cap like this. Okay, our CTA buttons are ready. Now we need to align everything. Select our heading and subheading. Okay, and turn them into auto layout. They will have gap of I think they will have gap of 24. Okay, maybe 20 will be okay, I think. And they we need to align them on the left side. Okay, like this, and select these two buttons and turn them into auto layout as well, and they will have gap of 12, I think. Okay, and select the top frame and these buttons and turn them into auto layout as well. They will have gap of 24, I think. Okay, okay, our text, subheading, heading, subheading, and buttons are ready. Now we need to create counters there. Let me show you what I mean. These are the counters. Okay, and I think there is more space there, and let's check how much they had gap of 32. Okay, let's give it 32 there, and the bottom, this frame will also have gap of 32. Basically all these layers will have gap of 32. Okay, we have corrected our mistake, and next we are going to create counters there. Okay, we need to add some counters there. Counters are very useful to add some trust into landing page for new visitors. So let's have them. To add counter, I am going to write text, and text is going to be total users. Okay, let's change its properties. It will have font size of 20, font weight will be medium, and letter spacing is going to be -3%, and line height is will be 130%. Okay, and let's change its color, and color is going to this D4 color. Okay, and let's zoom in so you can see. And we need to duplicate this again, and let's change its text to 200k plus users. This is the size of users. And let's change its properties. It will have font size of 44, and font weight will be semi bold, and line height will be 130, 110 actually, not 130. And letter spacing is going to be minus 5%. Okay, and we need to change its color to linear gradient, and top will have this value. Let me zoom out, this value. So let's choose it, and the bottom stop will have 999 color code. Okay, and let's zoom in. We need to change position of this linear gradient, and this top will be there, and this top will come here. Okay, our bottom text is also ready. Let's select both of them and turn them into auto layout. They will have gap of 0. Okay, but horizontal padding is going to be 32. Let's change its width like this. Okay, and we also need to add a stroke, and stroke will come at the side of I think right side. Okay, but it will be, we need to give it some gray color like this, and we can change its opacity to 20%. Okay, our right side border is ready. We can duplicate it again, okay, by holding Alt key. And now we can change its text. Text is going to be total downloads, and the bottom text will be I think bottom text will be 2.5 million, 2 point, not 25. Okay, and we can also change its size like this. Okay, and we can duplicate it again, and this time we can write average savings, and the bottom text will be, let's change to 53%. I think we need to give it this icon. Okay, 53%, and let's change its width as well. Okay, like this, and let's select all of them and turn them into auto layout. We need to give it gap of 0. Okay, and we can remove this stroke there. You can select it and remove it. Okay, now it looks better. And we can also remove horizontal padding from this side. To do that, we can go to there, okay, and remove padding from this side and turn it into 0. Okay, and now we can position it there. Okay, our counters are also ready. Now it is time to, let's position it properly like there, and this one as well. I think it is time to create our mobile screen. We need to put mobile screens there, and we need to add some glow effect and these rays effect as well. So let's do that. Okay guys, we need to place our mobile screen there, but before that we need to add glow effect as a background. And to add glow effect, I need to draw a circle, and circle will have width and height of 580 pixel. Okay, 580 pixel, and then we can add a fill to it. Fill is going to be this color. Okay, and then we can give it effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 400. We also need to give it blending effect of plus lighter. We can move our circle there. Okay, our glow effect is ready. Then we need to place our mobile screen on top of that. Mobile screen is ready, it is there. Okay, and mobile screen will have corner radius of 52, and we can copy it, Control C, and place it there. Okay, We can move it down there. Next, what we need to do, we need to reduce its opacity to 50%. Okay, and then what we need to do is we need to duplicate it again by pressing Ctrl D. Then we have two mobile screen on top of each other, and top screen will have some properties, extra properties. It will have effect of inner shadow. Okay, so let's give it inner shadow. X and Y value will be 0, but blur is going to be 70. Okay, and color is going to be, I think, this one. Yeah. Okay, our inner shadow is ready. Next thing what we need to do is we need to select both of our mobile screens, and right click on your mouse, and we need to choose this option, frame selection. Okay, our both screens are inside of another frame, and we need to add properties to our parent frame. This one we can call it parent. Okay, so you will not have any confusion. And I will also leave these mobile screen in the description so you can follow along with me. So we need to give some properties to parent, and parent will have fill property, and fill is going to be radial gradient, and top stop will have this color, and bottom stop will also have this color, but bottom stop will have 0% opacity. Okay, and we also need to give it I think we need to give it corner radius of 52 to parent frame. Okay, and we need to change position of our radial gradient to there. Okay, and the bottom stop will also come at this place like this. Okay, what I want to achieve, I want to achieve a shiny border there. Okay, but we don't see border yet. To have some a border there, I need to increase some width of our parent frame. So it is 477.83 right now. I need to add 2 pixel more there, so I am going to change it to 479. Okay, I added 2 more pixels so we can have our shiny border there. So I also need to change the position of this handle. I am going to increase its size like there. Okay, then we will have our shiny border from this area to this area, and this is what I want there. So our mobile screen is ready, and next thing we need to do is we need to add some glow effect there and some rays there. So let's do that. Okay guys, after mobile screen, we need to create these rays effect, spotlight, god rays, whatever you want to call it. We are going to make that one, and also this glow effect. So let's do that. Okay, I'm going to make rays. First, to do that, I am going to draw a rectangle, and rectangle will have width of 196 and height is going to be 440. Okay, then I need to give it a fill is going to be linear gradient, and it will have two stops. The top stop will have this color. Okay, and the bottom stop will also have this color, and bottom stop will have 0% opacity. Okay, and then we can close this window, and we need three such rectangles, so let's duplicate it again. Okay, and the second rectangle will have width of 170 and height will be 410. Okay, and we need to duplicate it again. The third rectangle will have width of 60. Okay, and height is going to be the same. And now we need to change their shapes a little bit. To do that, I need to select first rectangle and then press enter. Now we are into vector edit mode. Then I need to change the position of these top nodes like that, just little bit, not too much. Okay, I think that's okay, and then you can press enter again. Okay, and you have your rectangle ready. And then we will go to second rectangle. We will press enter again, Then we need to change the position of these nodes like that. This time we will move them little bit more. I think that's okay. Okay, then we will press enter, and we don't need to change anything in third rectangle. Okay, and for the first rectangle we need to change some properties as well. The first property will be, we need to give it effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 50. Okay, and we also need to give it blending effect of plus lighter. You can't see it, but I promise you will see it when we will place it into our design. For the second rectangle we need to give it effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 30. Okay, and for the third rectangle we need to give it effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 20. Okay, then we need to place all of these rectangles on top of each other. This will be in the bottom, this will come on the top. Okay, and the third rectangle will come on top of all the rectangles, all two of them. Then what we can do, we can select all of them like that, and we can align them horizontally by choosing this option on our Figma right side bar menu. Okay, and then we need to align them on the top as well, so we can click this option as well. So our rays are ready. While they are selected, I am going to press Ctrl G to turn them into a group. Okay, and we can name it light rays. Okay, okay, our rays are ready. We will place it into our design, so let's do that. So I have placed them there. Let's change their angle like this. Okay, and we need to reduce its opacity to 60% like this. And our header should be above our light rays, so let's find out our header. So we can move our light rays beneath all of these layers like that, so we can position our layers properly like there. Okay, so our rays are ready, and next what we need to do is we need to have some glow effect there. So let's do that. Okay, for glow effect I need to draw a rectangle. Okay, and rectangle will have height of 20 pixels and width is going to be 390. Okay, and then we need to place it properly in the center. We can move it down a little bit. Okay, like that. And then we can add fill to it. Fill is going to be linear gradient, and it will have 5 stops, and all stop will have same color, and color is going to be this one. Okay, and we can copy it and paste it into all stops. Okay, the first stop will have 0% opacity, and second stop will have 42% opacity, and third stop will have 100% opacity, and fourth one again will have 42% opacity, and last one will have 0% opacity. And first stop will stop at 0%, and second one will stop at 12%, and third one will at in the center, which will be 50, and the fourth one will stop at 87, and the last one will be at the 100. Okay, our linear gradient is ready. We can close this window. Then we need to give it layer blur effect, and value is going to be 20. And at the last we need to give it blending effect of plus lighter. Okay, so our this glow is ready, and next we need to draw an oval. Let's place it in the center. Okay, and next we need to draw an oval. Oval will have height of 80, and width is going to be 170. Okay, and it will have fill of this color, and it will also have effect of layer blur, and value is going to be 50. Okay, So let's position it into center. We can move it, and unless it is in the center like that, okay. And we can also see if it is in the center as well. Yeah, everything looks fine. And let's see our original design if they look similar. Yeah, they look similar. And at the last, we need to have dust particles there. To add dust particles, we need to draw some circle shapes. But before that, I want to lock these layers because they will not interfere into our design. Let's lock them. Okay, this one and this one. And now we can have dust particles there. I am going to draw a circle there, and circle will have width of 2 and height is going to be 2 as well. And we need to give it color, this color, this same color. Okay, and you can see particle there, and let's duplicate it multiple times by holding alt key. Okay, my mouse is very in bad shape these days. I need to get a new one, and if somebody can lend me a new mouse, I'm just joking, don't worry. Okay, our dust particles are ready. We can reduce opacity of top dust particles so it effect looks natural. So let's select top particles. Okay, and we can reduce their opacity to 50%. Okay, I think our design is ready, and I hope you liked this tutorial, and give it a like and leave a subscribe to my channel and leave a comment in the comment section, and I will see you in the next video.